Right in typical fashion to reading the Untuning of the Sky. I don't know how we're going to get this sky retuned up with the music of the spheres in people's minds. I'm going to have to write a book called Retuning of the Sky. I don't know what we'll do. If people learn Sarat Shab Yoga. Undone angels, outdone Orpheus. Examples of the complementary poem in it. It's a received form. Occur extremely frequently during the decades immediately surrounding the Restoration, and common to almost all of them is the suggestion that heaven, whether populated by pagan Olympians or by Christian angels, defers openly to the skill and charm of the subject of the compliment. So, for example, William Strode Parnassus Biceps. I like that. Parnassus. Parnassus is the mountain in which you learn music theory. You climb the Mount of Parnassus. They have the something. What is it? The road to Parnassus Biceps. The muscles of Parnassus. This is how you learn muscular music theory on a gentle woman that sung and played upon a lute. Be silent, you still music of the spheres. Why should it be silent? We're raising the question of making it heard, and every sense make haste to be all ears, and give devout attention to her ears, and to which the gods do listen as to prayers of pious votaries, the which to hear tumult would be attentive, and would swear to keep less noise at Nile, if there she sing, or with the happy touch grace but the string. Among so many others, such throngs of gods and men that press to hear her songs. Oh, let me have an unspied room, and die with such an anthem o'er my tomb. It's like his other poem, which says, when Orpheus sweetly did complain upon his lute with heavy strain, how did Eurydice was slain, the trees to hear obeyed an ear, and after left it off again. In another poem in the same collection, Trudi makes an inventory of the charms of heaven's best image, his fair and virtuous mistress, and concludes with the observation that her voice is the Sphears' best music, and whose twins, her arms, precious pair of cherub wings. In some miscellany, two poems doubtfully ascribed to Strode also exemplify the convention. In the first of these, the poet descants upon a gentlewoman's entertainment of him, and allows the music to provide the imagery with which to invoke the food. This is what you have for your prayer at the dinner table, to invoke the food. Whether, sweet mistress, I should most commend your music or your cost, your well-spread table, or the choice banquet of your hand and voice, there's none will doubt, for can there be betwixt earth and heaven analogy? Or should a trencher or dish stand in competition with your hand that turns all men ear to ear, that your hand, whose every joint's a spear. For certainly he that shall see the swiftness of your harmony will straightway in amazement prove the spheres to you but slowly move, and in that thought confess that thus the heavens are come down to us. Do you think it's very romantic? I'm surprised they don't call it the romantic poets. After some more of this, the food that his hostess had served, the poet becomes the pan Angelicus, quote, those singing dainties of the air, here in what is so much an occasional poem that it appears to be mere album blot. The automatic character of the complementary device is quite obvious, I think. It might even be suggested on the basis of this and other examples that the widespread use of the heavenly music in a verse of this sort may have been influenced in some part by the obvious series of rhymes. Here, ear, and sphere. Could we use those in our poetry? Dear, if you want to incorporate the heavenly music, we're going to use ear, hear, and sphere. Another poem of doubtful authorship figures forth the embarrassment of the angels in a most inconsistent manner. On Alma's voice, what magic art compels my soul to fly away and leave desert my poor composed trunk of clay, strong violence thus pleasingly to tear the soul forth of the body by the ear, when Alma sings the pretty chanters of the sky do droop their wings, as in disgrace they meant to die, because their tunes, which were before so rare compared to hers, do but distract the air. Each sensitive in emulation proudly stands, striving to thrive under the bliss of her commands. I like that, striving to thrive under the bliss of her commands, whose charming voice doth bears and tigers tame, and teach the spheres new melodies to frame. She's teaching the spheres now. Do you think it could go the other way? Mm-hmm. Where the woman's voice is teaching the spheres. Mm-hmm. The angels, all astonished at her heavenly air, would sudden fall from cold amazement to despair, but that by nimble theft they all conspire to steal her henceforth to enrich their choir. Do you think the angels steal good musicians to put into their choirs? We will see later. Huh?
All is possible.
I don't know. I'd be afraid to be too good at music if they'd try to recruit you. I don't want to be in an angel choir. We will see later on in this chapter how in his 1687 song for St. Cecilia's Day, Dryden combines just such a conceit as that of the angel being charmed out of his accustomed round in heaven, with the traditional story of an angel's appearing when an actual historical saint was praying. There are, of course, echoes of the Orphean accomplishment here as well, and in the notion of drawing forth the soul from the body through the ear. You think the soul can be withdrawn from the body through the ear or through the hearing function? Mm-hmm. Does the music of the spheres withdraw the soul from the body? Reference to one of the more Pythagorean notions of the preceding ages music theory. We're talking about music theory here. Shakespeare, Much Ado, he says, now divine air, now is his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep's guts should hale souls out of men's bodies? Do you think that the sheep gut strings of a viol could cause the soul of a man to come out of the body? Mm-hmm. You should know that Shakespeare by heart. Now, divine air, now is his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep's guts should hale souls out of men's bodies? Also, Twelfth Night. We are talking about how the music of the spheres is drawing forth the soul from the body through the ear. And we had Dryden come in to testify along with Shakespeare. He testified. And we know it can use the words ear, hear, and sphere when writing poetry. When we're trying to revive with the muscles of Parnassus, using muscular music to make not silent the music of the spheres. We are reading Undone Angels and Outdone Orpheus. We had read a poem by William Strode, and we read William Strode in Parnassus Biceps. I wonder if there's more to that poem. Parnassus Biceps. I'll look that up. We're reading the Untuning of the Sky, John Hollander. It's all about the concepts of music in English poetry, the way that ancient Pythagorean concepts of music theory impacted English poetry in the Renaissance.